Good day, I'm Marlene Ranyola from BPED 3A. What is musical notation? In music theory, musical notation is a series of symbols and markings that inform musicians how to perform a composition. It can take number forms: standard notation on a 5-line musical staves, lead sheets with a melody written on a 5-line staff and chords written using a letter and D number-based notation, guitar tablature, bar-based MIDI notation, which typically only appears on a computer screens, the graphic notation that blends standard notation with illustrations. Types of musical notations. Most musical notation falls into a one of 5 categories. The first category, standard notation on musical staves. Second, lead sheets, guitar tablature, bar-based MIDI notation, and graphic notation. What are the types of bar lines? On ledger lines, bar lines differentiate musical measures. Some of the types of bar lines found in musical notation include the single bar lines. These separate one musical measure from another. Second, the double bar lines. These separate sections within a musical piece. Bold double bar lines. These signify the end of a musical movement or an entire piece. What are the types of musical clefs? There are 3 main musical clefs. The first is treble clef, also called a G clef because it's a loose illustration on letter G and its inner curl surrounds the line indicating the note G. In piano sheet music, the right hand typically plays notes written in treble clef. The bass clef, also called an F clef, because it's approximate the letter F and its dots are centered on the line indicating the note F. In piano sheet music, the left hand typically plays notes written in bass clef. The C clefs. These clefs, which loosely resemble 2 Cs stacked on the top of each other, are centered on the line indicating the note C. It's common for C clefs to move around on the staff. Types of musical notes. Musical notes vary in duration, and when they are written on a sheet music, notes of different lengths are depicted in different ways. Most Western sheet music gets divided into measures, and the most common of these is a measure containing 4 beats. The first is a whole note. It's a single note that covers the entry of 4-beat measure. It contains a open note head with no stem. A half note is a single note that covers half of a 4-beat measures. Open note head with a stem contains M. A quarter note is a single note that covers 1/4 of a 4-beat measure. It contains a closed note head with a stem. An 8th note covers 1/8 of a 4-beat measure. It contains a closed note head with a stem and a tail. A 16th note covers a 1/6 of a 4-beat measure. It contains closed note head within a stem and a double tail. Types of accidentals. Musical notes may contain accidentals such as flats and sharps that provide additional information. Accidentals allow all 12 notes in Western music to appear on a 5-line musical staff. First, the sharp. This marking indicates the player should sound a note a half step higher than the pitch on the staff. Next, the flat. This marking indicates the player should sound a note a half step lower than the pitch on the staff. The double sharp. This marking indicates the player should sound a note a whole step higher than the pitch on the staff. Next is double flat. This marking indicates the player should sound a note a whole step lower than the pitch on the staff. Natural. This symbol indicates that the player should disregard disregard any previously indicated accidentals and simply play the pitch indicated on the song. And that's all. Thank you.